ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dracnus. I am your host. I am your caster. Welcome to another community cast. We haven't had one of these in a while, but, people haven't submitted in a while. But we're back, baby. And we're back with a special one. But before we get into the nitty-gritty details, let me first introduce to you your red Terran spawning in the top left corner of Romanticide. It is representing Panic Redbird. Spawning in the bottom right, playing with the blue Protoss probes, representing nobody but them damn selves. It is Megumin. We're going to call you Meg. I'm going to call you Meg from here on out. Alright. We're going to be going, looks like pretty normal setups from both sides. Racks, gas, gateway, gas. Pretty normal stuff so far. We'll have to keep an eye on this Proteus right here, just to see if any shenanigans are afoot. But guys, remember those nitty-gritty details? Well, we have a moment in lapse. Nothing crazy is happening right now, so I'm just going to give you guys the 411. The submitter of this replay, known in the Discord as Zard, ooh, little bump there, Freezard, tells me that he is not playing with a mouse and keyboard, but one of those XP or GP, whatever the letters were, tablet pen. Very interesting. So a lot of practice has been going into trying to deal with that. Now, of course, Probe just did a little bit of blocky block on the Terran. Doesn't really care. This command center will start on the side because Terran buildings can left. They're pretty good at that. In fact, this Marine, or this Reaper that's coming out, will start to work on this. Interesting enough, Reaper first. We don't really see this too much anymore. Ever since Beyond and some other Terrans have been kind of going into a more Marine-heavy opener, we haven't really seen a lot of even Terrans do the Reaper opening, but, Redbird has a plan. There is a plan in motion. Now, what are you doing over here, Protoss? Okay, Cybercore is just about to be finishing up Nexus as well, so nothing too crazy yet. Both players kind of just doing their respective chores for the early game, as one would expect. Now, will the Reaper go across, or will the Reaper stay home? That's an interesting question. There is two SCVs on the other side of the map. There is a Zealot on this side of the map. Now, usually the Zealot kind of just gets kited to death. Will kind of delay this command center, so it's not too bad. Just going to get this SCV on here. There you go. So, let's take a look at something. Two workers went down. It's mineral-wise and even trade, and you kind of don't want the Zealot anyway, so I guess it wasn't a bad thing to set it across the map. This Adept needs to not do what that Zealot just did and throw their life away. This Adept needs to use the Shade as kind of the scouting tool and not commit onto here. You want to cancel that. Oh no, this is an overextension. Depots are going to close. There they go, and the Adept is dead. The Adept didn't really get anything done, as we can see here. Only thing that died was those two SCVs to the Zealot. So the Adept is kind of a waste. Really want to keep that alive a little bit longer. Maybe wait for a second Adept. There's a Stalker going across the map now. This is the Feed the Bird Foundation charity event. So, with every unit that goes across this map, it feeds Redbird. Now, this is kind of a helpful scout in a weird way, because it's going to tell Meg that there is indeed a force coming, but losing the Stalker is not worth it. Lost the Stalker. Please don't send another one out to the death. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the rally point was a little bit weird. Blink's almost done, but the Cyclone is here. Let's see what they can get done. We don't want to overextend, but the shield batteries aren't done, so you can actually do a lot of pressure on these units. The probes are coming forward. Oh my gosh, you don't want to go into Marines. Okay, 4 probes went down. Sentry's about to go down too. This is really nice damage. Now the shield battery is a battery overcharge engage. Want to back off a little bit. And from right here, I think we can still poke in, but we don't want to try and poke in and just a move on these stalkers and waste lock-ons with the shield battery. You want to kind of go in forward, maybe select the shield battery. Oh my god, canceled it? Alright, well, looks like Protoss wasn't too keen on being able to defend the third. I think with as much health as it had, could have definitely held on for a little bit longer. Maybe get like 4 or 5 stalkers. With the right micro, you could have possibly have extended that, but probably didn't want to risk it. Right now, I think the best thing to do is either try and lock onto a shield battery or take out a pylon. You're not going to take out these stalkers, especially now that they have blink. Shield batteries have been drained, but they've been doing God's work, keeping these stalkers alive. There we go. Start trying to see what you can do. One stalker goes down, the other one just barely survives. Will eventually get healed up, though the batteries are they're struggling a little bit right now. Meanwhile, Terran, floating quite a bit of money, was not making too many SCVs behind that, possibly just overly focusing on the micro. Third base is almost done, which is good. We're not getting too headbutty here, not too tunnel visioned. eBay on the way. Protoss, what's your plan? Protoss has the whole rainbow of stuff. You know, there's a Stargate, there's a second Stargate, but there's a Robo. Charge just finished as well as Blink. So the dynamic is usually you either go Blink Stalkers or Phoenix to deal with Terran Bio, like drop play. Meg has likely been abused by double drop while getting pushed multi-prong before. So the idea here is going to be likely to create this sort of basically using all the tech in the world to stop any form of drops. Gonna very much so force only pushes to be a thing. Now, I don't know about attacking into this position. You kind of see this position. You don't really push into that. Terran scans just to see what was all there. Turns out that was the smallest army in the world compared to the position that Terran has set up. Immediately unsieges the tanks, getting ready to do it's like a 2-base tank push. Some Marauders thrown into there, so this was actually kind of delayed a little bit. We'll see if the Protoss can hold on. Now with this setup, I'm starting to think it might be Sky Toss. With like Colossi or Disrupted. There's a Colossi started right now, but I'm starting to think this is going to be a Sky Toss game because the gateway count is not increasing. At the same time, the worker count isn't really like there to start like mass more gateways, but you would at least throw 1 or 2 down every now and then. Now these bunker positions are very interesting. The third will go down. I don't see this army stopping this right now. 2 tanks are lifted. Let's see if any of them die. 1 goes down, but the other one will not go down. Oh my gosh. That let them get 1 more shot off, which was pretty helpful. But yeah, this position is not going to survive for very long. I don't think we need to be making these bunkers. I think this is a waste of money. I think the best thing you can do is just take out the third and then salvage these. They can't push into your position anyway. And a Colossi with almost finished thermal lens will be able to outrange the bunkers. And yeah, Protoss is just going to expand upward away from this position. This will become our 4th base later on. So these bunkers really don't serve too much of a purpose. A bunker push like that with tanks and marines, and in this case Marauders, is usually better to do at the natural. You put a lot more pressure on that position. Maybe our Terran was not feeling it. Maybe the Colossi possibly was scaring them a little bit. But yeah, no, it wasn't gonna work out on the third as much as it could have on the natural. But it is what it is. There's several Phoenix in the air too, so maybe a lack of medevacs really kind of made that position kind of weird. Now there's a Raven just recently spawned, it looks like. He's building up that energy in a single medevac. I'd actually like to see maybe like 3 more medevacs and then go into Viking production. Okay, so here's the problem that I foresaw with this. Just leaving all this here, this is so much supply that the Terran isn't really getting much value out of. Like, these Marauders that were left alone ended up doing more than a lot of those bunkers did. Scanning just to make sure, hey, did I just lose that army to my position to a bunch of Charlots and a Colossus? I almost called it a Cyclone. Yes, you did. I'm glad that we were able to reassure you of your failure to salvage that position. But it is what it is. Meg kind of establishing themselves on the front here. In fact, with the way that this game has been going, I wouldn't mind taking the 4th base right here, but we're going to see a little bit of a push coming in. Now, this is kind of an awkward position. Protoss can't really push this away yet. Gonna just poke forward, see, okay, they're gonna use the rocks here to make this really, really awkward. Ooh, armor shred missile right there. Make these units very weak, but okay. A couple Marines and a Marauder, not bad. You know, probably not as much as Meg was looking for, but at the same time, you'll take what you can get in these kind of situations. There's a little bit of a maybe miscontrol with the way that Meg is using their charge lots. Allowing a few to die right there wasn't really necessary. But the awkward part is there's not much here. It's mostly Marauders. There are some Marines, but not enough to push this position. Reinforcements are coming in with another tank, so this is going to become... This is getting more and more drastic. The longer you let a Terran stay entrenched on your position, the harder it is to break out. But it looks like Meg is going for it. Oh, no. Don't lose your disruptors like this. I would love it if... This Terran looks like they are getting overrun really hard. Make sure you get those disruptors. Yeah, like, this disruptor was kind of just like in the front, right next to the tank, right next to a few Marauders. Would have loved to see a little bit of focus fire on it. You're not going to hold that position if you stay, but you might as well get a trade. And as predicted, Sky Toss. Only 2 Stargates, but also only 61 workers. So, another scan just to see, hey, it's still there. Okay, thank you. Doesn't know about this base yet. So, we can definitely get into a position right now. And in that scan, I don't believe saw the carriers. These scans are not in the best positions. Does see this base, so probably thinks, okay, that their 4th is taken, but that's actually their 5th. This is the 4th base. I guarantee that one is going to... Actually, maybe not. I think they will. I think Meg will actually saturate this base before this position. So the rally point's right there. Okay, it looks like there's going to be a little bit of... The rally points have not been updated yet. There's still some probing going on onto this position right here. So, it might get a little weird. I would honestly prefer Meg to just say, okay, I'm going to do it this way. Instead of having this kind of like a little bit of here, a little bit of here. You go there, you go there as well, and you go up there. It's a little disjointed. But Thor's. I'm not sure if Terran saw the Sky Toss, or this is just kind of their general decision making. Does see the carriers now, definitely. So, okay, we're gonna be going into anti-Sky Toss. Now, Thor's is a good response. Thor's and Bio is a good response to a Sky Toss army, but it's not great. It could be great, but it's not there yet. What is this command center doing? Okay, I thought, are we going for a scout there with the command center? But no, we're going to land that here at the forward 4th. This is getting a little interesting. So, Protoss has stopped worker production. Terran has stopped worker production. Both of them have kind of done this. Maybe they're in DMs with each other, deciding, hey, I'm not gonna make workers. You're not gonna make workers. We're gonna make one army that's really expensive, and we'll hope it works. This does give both players a high army supply, though, because they're stopping on a relatively small worker count. 68 and 66 workers are really, like, they're okay if you're not planning on taking too many trades, but you really, really do want to make sure you're getting enough money in, because I can kind of see a situation right here to where Protoss might be able to clean this up. Like, this is a lot of army, but there's quite a few Marauders in here, some tanks. It's not gonna look pretty, but if these Phoenix can, Phoenix are actually getting rid of all the medevacs, so that there goes their healing. Let's look at upgrades. Upgrades. +1 on the air, no vehicle plating armor, so that could come into effect. So these Thors are doing God's work. Tactical recall to like 2 feet over, always a good option. Gonna lose most of the carriers. A couple get away, so this base is gonna be abandoned. Luckily, Protoss also has this base up here in the north. Worker transfer was able to save it. Oh, that was an unfortunate stim. All the bio, unfortunately, just kind of took too many drugs. And unfortunately, there is a lot of miscontrol going on with these Thors. So many interceptors were allowed to get shots off that because they weren't targeting the carrier, the interceptors were dying one by one, but that doesn't really matter with the amount of them there are, and this position gets completely cleared up. A little bit of a throw. Protoss was in dire straits right there. If there was maybe like a focus fire shift attacks, then I think that entire position gets cleaned up. But unfortunately, not what we saw. Now, Terran, what is the strategy? Please tell me you're going to add on Vikings. No, Medivacs is the decision right now. And I love this. Okay, so Tempests are being added in, which are going to actually, if you start focus firing down the Thors, you can kind of ignore the bio a little bit. Of course, a heavy amount of Marines will shred through a lot of interceptors, but the problem is the medevac count is not great. Right? This isn't a scary amount of bio. Even with the Ghost there to EMP, it's not a scary amount of army. The Protoss may have a lower army supply, but their army is far scarier in my opinion, especially with that Disruptor on the ground. One good Disruptor could really change the tide of the battle. Now, if the Protoss can't respond very quickly, this Nexus might just die. Alright, a lot of damage is going on that Nexus, especially with the tanks. The tanks are going to actually really help. Yeah, this Nexus is going down, but will the workers? Alright, let's see. A lot of workers are going down. Many workers went down right there, but the entire position, once again, the army gets cleaned up. The Terran is not evacuating what few units they have left, and I think that's a mistake. Maybe they don't care about the Marauders and the tank because the army is starting to just stay up in the sky. Plus 3 air on the way. 3 more carriers are in production. I would love to see another Disruptor added to this army. Maybe the Protoss is thinking, I got this in the bag. I don't need another Disruptor. I got one. But honestly, having 4 or 5 Disruptors with this kind of an army, never a bad thing. Now, there are 4 Thors here, but if the focus fire is good, and it is, focus firing down these Thors is going to help so much because there's not enough bio to clear this position. Unfortunate placement. This missile turret is getting a lot of value. Oh, the Disruptor. Yeah, the Disruptor is definitely helping. And I do not see a world where the Terran can stop this from happening anymore. Would love to see more worker production happening right now. Even if you feel like you're winning the game, if you're on a low worker count playing a high-tech army, you want to make sure that nothing can stop you from remaxing if you need it. But carriers kill one of the last Thors. There is another Thor right here. GG is called by Redbird. And there it goes. Terran, I'm not sure which one is Freezard, by the way, since the names are different in game. Freezard, if you were the Terran, if you're gonna do a bio kind of reaction to this, Thors are okay. Thors are they're a good response, but they're only good if you focus fire. And honestly, if you get like 3 Thors and like a good Viking cloud, and you just focus fire the carriers, it does so much damage. But Freezard, if you are the Protoss, um, I think your carrier Tempest ratio is pretty good. You know, you were able to clear out so many Thors so many times. More worker production, and maybe more robo production as well. Getting out. You can probably guess that. The Thors are able to use their anti-air mode on Colossi. Vikings could also counter Colossi, so maybe not Colossi, but definitely disruptors. And and if you see they're making Thors, I wouldn't even mind some Immortals. Immortals kind of have a similar relationship with Thors as they do Ultralisk in that they really pound hard. So that could have made this army so much more terrifying. Splash damage, the anti-armor, the pure power of Carrier Tempest absolutely could shred through what this person made. Lack of Vikings really, really cut the Terran down, as well as the lack of worker production. But guys, if you enjoyed this cast, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to go follow my Twitch account at twitch.tv/Lord_Drakness. Make sure to give it a follow. Make sure to catch my streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And make sure also, if you are in the position to, go subscribe. It's a great place. I'm there. It's cool. So guys, I hope everyone enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye, guys.